Thursday the 9th of April. Nice day here near Urzo. City's all opened up now, and we can sort of do what we like, except there's a lot of shops that are still shut, schools are still shut. We all still got to wear face masks and antiseptic sprays when we walk into shops, etc. We're still being very careful. So I just went to the chemist to get some medicine, and last time I went in there with my wife, charged me 35 yuan. This time I walk in, being a single white bloke on my own, they charged me 75 yuan. So I said to them, if I go home and tell my Chinese wife that you've charged me 75 yuan, she's going to come down here and fucking give it to you guys. Suddenly the price dropped to 35. And then to try and offend me, she decided to spray me all with antiseptic. Everywhere I've been in the shop she sprayed, as if I was dirty, just to piss me off. Anyway, I thought it was quite funny, so I stood there and smiled at her, and just let her keep spraying. So yeah, life in China, mate. What happens when all the white people out in the world are giving the Chinese fucking shit? It just comes back and reflects on me, because I'm like the only one here. So they yeah. Anyway, I can take it. It's all good. So Australia received 90 tonnes of medical equipment from Wuhan Airport yesterday, apparently, according to reports on the news, and 90 tonnes of ventilators, and most of the rest of it was made up of PPE equipment, gowns, gloves, masks, all made in China, of course, and all below the Australian standard, apparently. All the same stuff I've been sending home and it's been getting seized, and now the government's going to give out 11 million of those to health workers, which is a great idea. So maybe they should start giving them out to the public if they want to stop cross infections, because it's the only way that's going to stop it. So I'm off on my motorbike again, trying to organise Channel 9. I want to do an interview, and I'm just trying to find an area that I can record or use Skype on. Beautiful day here in China today. Officially out of lockdown. Interesting. Not much has really changed. We've sort of been out of lockdown for 2 weeks on and off, but yeah, more and more businesses are opening every day. The domestic airport opened up, but apparently a few international flights have left. Yeah, this selfie stick riding a motorbike one-handed is a bit funny. So yeah, it's not me shaking, it's probably the bike, everything else. Yeah, Chinese wildlife's pretty good around here, mate. You've got to keep your eyes on the road. A bit difficult. I love these rules. There's some rules for cars, and then there's other rules for motorbikes, and the motorbikes don't really have any rules at all. So if it's a red light, you just sort of slow down and look to your right and look to your left, because it's obviously opposite here. And go for your life, mate. If all else fails, press your horn. My horn doesn't work, so I'm pretty fucked there. But anyway, so it's a bit of a downgrade, this electric bike. I'm used to riding a nice Ducati, but unfortunately, I'm back down to a 43 km/h electric motorcycle with 5 batteries in it that goes for about 2 days. It's cheaper than riding the Duke, but nowhere near as fun. Traffic jam. Yeah, mate. Put your mask back on, silly deal. Hey, put your mask on, mate. See, you've got no mask on. I was thinking about something. A guy just sent me a message, and he asked me what I thought about the current situation here, and my answer to him was the world's a new place now. It's never going to be like it was before. We have a new virus to deal with. The virus is going to mutate like every virus does, and no matter what vaccines we come out with, they're going to have to be regularly upgraded and updated to accommodate. But viruses always change and get stronger. However, us humans have been here a long time, and we've dealt with many viruses over thousands of years, and yeah, the human body will learn to adapt and grow to adapt and get used to another virus like every other virus we've ever had. I really think it'd be funny if something really simple like, you know, weed or something like that was actually the cure. You know, the governments would have to like, oh look, we're going to have to legalise weed because it's like the only thing that stops coronavirus. And there's going to be millions of people in the world going, yeah. And all the scientists will be freaking out because no one came up with a cure, and it was just simply a fucking tree that we can all grow in our backyard. Who knows, I've smoked a lot of weed in my life, and I live next to a hospital and I never got sick, so maybe I've got a tolerance. Anyway, my theory. I'm not telling everyone should go out and smoke weed just in case, but it'd be funny. As for that fucking joker, Paul Jones, that gets on Facebook and he's a conspiracy theorist and believes everything he's told. Well, fucking stupid people. They're so stupid, they don't even realise they're stupid, mate. That's the funny thing about stupid people. Anyway, Paul, nice that you stopped messaging me, or what did you bar me? I don't care what you fucking did, mate, you're a goose. And prove me wrong, don't wear a face mask. See how good you are, mate. See if it's a conspiracy theory or not. He tried to even tell me that they're coming up with a cure and they're going to put some nano fucking transfer or whatever the fuck you want to call it in so they can track us all. Like, seriously, bro? You think they're going to waste their time and fucking want to track some idiot like you? You're a goose, mate. The government don't want to bar people like you. In the meantime, the Australian government are trying to repatriate all these people from South America and Africa and the UK and India, 4 of the worst places on earth that are covered with this virus, and they want to bring them home to Australia. Yet they left a third of us here in China, and they never mention China anymore. What, don't you think we're at risk anymore? Like, what is so important about these people that all left after the travel bans and were warned? We had no warning in China. We were here, mate, and it just sort of turned up and fucking Bob's your uncle. That was that. Like I've said before, they told me I was overseas and that I'm not entitled to any assistance anymore because I'm overseas. If I can get that, work that one out, mate. Anyway, meanwhile, they brought home like 20,000 people off ships that have all had coronavirus spreading on them, and they think they're important. Anyway, that's the government for you. They don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. They still seem to deny the fact that masks are important. However, they ordered 90 tonnes of them from China the other day and got them delivered. And people in the medical industry are sort of being persuaded, if you like, not to put on so much PPE equipment because it's a bad look. Well, it's going to save their lives, and there's going to be a lot less death. So if I was a doctor or a nurse, I'd be fucking telling them where to go and putting on as much protective equipment as you can, because I tend to believe that Chinese scientists and doctors over anybody else in the world, they're the only ones that have beaten this crap, and their methods obviously work, as opposed to the Australians, who haven't really had any experience of this at all yet, and haven't even seen the worst of it. There are very, very few numbers in Australia as opposed to the rest of the world. They've had very, very small amount of deaths. I hope it stays that way. However, I don't like your chances, guys, but let's hope and see. So today I really feel like going for a surf. It's nice and hot today, and I haven't been for a swim for a fair while. I really need a saltwater fix. I see lots of nice pictures from Ulladulla, the coast and all the lovely beaches that we have there, and a bit homesick today. I've been a bit sick the last few days. I don't know if it was something I ate, maybe it's coronavirus. No, not really. Just a bit of a stomach thing. It's quite common here in China. Probably used a bit too much water when I was brushing my teeth or something. It's all like that. Anyway, that's life, and can't be good every time, every day. Maybe I was just depressed. I've been here quite a while and I am missing home, and it's just the way it is. But that's all I can do. I haven't been making my videos the last few days because I've had a few other things to do, and I actually did an interview on Channel 7 news in Australia, and this morning I did another interview on Channel 9 News in Australia, so anybody in Australia might want to see that. It's me. They all ask me the same questions: what's it like getting out of lockdown and all that stuff. Well, yeah, life's back to sort of normal here, except for the face masks that we need to wear. 20-cent protection. You're just crazy if you don't wear one. They're cheap, they're effective, and that's all I've got to say about that. I'm sick and tired of harping on about it. No one seems to want to fucking listen. Yeah, so this thing around my neck here, this is called crimsonite, and came from the mountains in China, and it's apparently got special properties that have been used for thousands of years, and they actually crush it up and feed it to people that are very, very ill, and it fixes them. So yeah, it's just one of their theories, but I've had it on the whole time in virus, and I think it's a bit of a good luck charm. Yeah, it's very special. I like it. It's quite heavy. So who knows? That could be the cure. We've still got queues outside the bank as normal. Beautiful woman, another beautiful one in China. Oh. Well, I just got a nice little bit of information off one of the shopkeepers. The word around town is that I'm actually dangerous. I'm poisonous. And there you go. That's what happens when you're the only white person in the city. It was eventually going to come back on me. I've been here for so long and I've done so much for the community, but people in the shops actually think that I'm poisonous. So that's what happens when the West go and give China so much shit, and it's just going to come back on me. I'm poisonous. Wow. Yeah, I had a funny feeling that was happening because there was people taking an extra wide berth of me around on the streets these days, and being a bit strange towards me, where I've never really had that before. But yeah, I can understand where they're coming from. But yeah, it's just the way the world works. Everybody in the rest of the world is blaming China for it. Meanwhile, I'm the only white bloke here, and I'm going to get blamed for it. So that's life. Maybe the government should come and get me, because I'm sort of over it. You know, I received a letter from this young Chinese family in Australia 2 days ago, and he was telling me how it feels to be a Chinaman in Australia now, and how much ridicule they cop and abuse when they go shopping. This guy's been living there for over 25 years. He's married, he's got 2 children. He's Australian just like everybody else in Australia. And it's terrible to hear that sort of story coming out, and how naive that some of those Australians really are towards the Chinese. The Chinese have been there a long time, longer than any other foreigners in our country. We're foreigners in our own country, don't forget that. And for people to think that I'm contagious and poisonous in China is not the greatest feeling in the world, considering I can't really go anywhere. I'm stuck here, and my government, you know, haven't come to get me or help me in any way. And so I guess I have to wear it now, like the Chinese are wearing it in Australia. And just think about that you Aussies that are giving it to them. You know, it's not their fault. They're just like you, and they didn't start this virus. You know, the last big virus that went through the world actually started in North America. So, you know, it's just the way it is. That's how viruses work. And yeah. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I didn't have any updates for the last few days because I've been a bit busy. So that's my latest update. You know, I haven't really got much more to say. The news is always the same from out on the west, and nothing seems to be really improving. So, you know, keep safe, guys. Do what you can. Stay healthy, and take care of yourselves. And lay off the Chinese guys. It's really not their fault. You know, they're just people like us, like I said, and it's really uncalled for, and it's embarrassing to be an Australian overseas and hear that sort of crap coming out of our country. Grow up, you know, have a bit of decency, and put yourselves in their shoes.